in the 50s, the worst thing you could be is that woman who never got married and had kids, and instead you're just
And
like
librarian.
a well-read librarian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, no, not this of all the realities.
She's like, leave me alone. I'm perfectly happy going home by myself.
Mary, what are you doing? Reading books? You can't have that.
I'm perfectly happy being an independent single woman.
Mary,
your meaning needs to come from the perspective of a man. Mary,
aren't you even pregnant, Mary?
you're not a mother. You're not anything. You have an education? No!
Oh, Mary! Oh,
You're supposed to make me chicken over a fire in an old abandoned house.
Oh, Mary, is your womb barren, Mary?
Are you a virgin still, Mary? This is tragic.
Who would win in a fight, the Grinch or Kermit the Frog?
The Grinch? What?
Yeah.
That's not a...
I feel like Kermit,
It's not even a fair
has
fight.
The Grinch.
Kermit has some emotions bottled up, I think, in him.
Yeah, very repressed.
He does, yeah.
I mean, all that anger, like, he wants to choke out Miss Piggy every day of his life, but
he loses. She chokes him out.
She's very strong.
Yeah.
What if it was the Grinch and all his friends, which he has none, and then Kermit and all his friends? He has a lot of friends.
I feel like the Grinch would just
I feel like
take
you
him
set
out one
that
by
up.
one.
I feel like you set that up for yourself to win your own argument.
No, I think it's could the Grinch by himself take on the whole Muppets cast?
With or without
That's a
Miss
funny
Piggy.
way of...
Jim
I
Carrey
feel like
in the Grinch suit? Because in that case, he probably could
But if
demolish.
Or is it the cartoon Grinch?
If Miss Piggy wasn't there, yes. If she
Have
was,
you seen Miss Piggy?
no way.
Okay, maybe it's Jim Carrey in the Grinch suit versus all the Muppets and their puppeteers, the humans that are puppeting the Muppets.
Okay.
But they have to use the Muppets.
Yeah, they're like kind of one-handed.
Yeah.
Frank Oz, though?
Yeah, he's talented.
I bet he could beat up Jim Carrey.
I mean, he's kind of old now.
Isn't he dead?
Whoa.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know why that surprised me. Oh no. I'm a fan. He's like a legend.
Young Jamie, let's check the...
What is your guys' favorite Grinch?
There's only one to like.
What do you mean there's only one?
Well, there's two to like, the original cartoon or the Jim Carrey one.
I never even saw the new one, the 3D animated one with
Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
I
didn't see
watched
that
5
either.
minutes of it, and
Yeah.
and I was like,
That's pretty far to get into that movie before dismissing it.
yeah, it was bad on like another level. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't believe
Oh my God.
they got like the fundamental
I disrespected
story
Frank Oz. He's
and
still
character.
alive.
What? Oh, he's still alive. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Frank Oz is still alive, people.
Yeah, sorry.
And the new Grinch, if you're letting your children watch it, just know you're doing the future generation like a huge disservice.
Yeah.
You got that OG, the one that starts with the bells. Shing, 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 shing,
Yeah.
far. You got that OG cartoon. That one's great.
That is so classic.
It's
like,
so good.
The narration for it,
Isn't that Bela Lugosi
yes.
narrating?
Yeah. So
But the
good.
Grinch. I just
Yeah.
remember the way he says that. But the Grinch. He says it like so fast. Every who down in Whoville liked Christmas. But the Grinch. He like interrupts himself. Liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch. It's so intense the way he says it.
I always love that line where he says at the top, he's like, "They came without stockings. They came without bags."
Came with the boxes of bags. Yeah, it's very rhythmic.
Yeah.
My niece and nephew are allowed to watch like nothing, and they are allowed to watch that. And so that, you know, do you remember being in the age where it's like you enjoyed watching something so much that it was like as soon as it ended, you're just like again, and then it ends again. You're like again.
Yeah.
They're in that phase with that. So I could probably quote that whole thing because I've been watching it since I was a
Careful,
kid, and then I also last couple years have watched that too many times, or heard them watching it like too many times.
Yeah.
Why is that one that they're allowed to watch?
Because it's not really like scary. It has like a good moral, and it's like once a year.
Oh.
They get to watch like once a year. So, yeah.
Are there other Christmas movies that they watch?
We tried to watch the literal claymation, like the Rudolph claymation,
Yeah,
classic
yeah.
stop motion. It's so good, but they were scared of the Bumble.
Oh.
I think we still
monster?
finished it, but they were like talking about it forever. They were like so
Well,
scared.
claymation is kind of scary.
Yeah, it's absolutely. It's
Oh yeah, Cody has a thing about this, right? Tell me about your stop motion fear.
You have a fear of stop motion.
Well, I just think it's a rational fear of something objectively scary.
Well, no, it's perfectly understandable that inanimate objects coming to life
this
would
has to be-
choke me out in my sleep. And I mean, come on.
This
Yeah.
is like some new phobia. that you-
When I was in the womb, I mean, people were visited by 3 spirits or, God, but I was visited by claymation puppets in the womb, and it was scary.
Well, what's the one with the really blocky guy? He's like really long. It's not a Christmas one, but it's like an old claymation that has like he's green. And
Gumby?
yeah, Gumby.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other claymation. I think it's done by the same studio.
I'm
And
pretty
there's, like,
sure.
I'm Mr. The fire Christmas guy. And
Oh,
ice.
the heat miser.
Heat miser.
And
I never saw that.
and the-
They have like such weird noises that like they do.
I'm Mr. Heat Miser.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Sun.
Yeah.
I'm Mr.
But Gumby
Green
scared me.
Christmas.
Gumby scared you.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
no,
I
no.
had a bad dream about it.
Oh, what you're thinking of is
When I was
in
a ch-
Gumby. There's the blockheads, and the blockheads, they are like they're just out to just mess with people. They're up to no good all the time, and they
Oh.
like shape shift, and they get inside people's minds. They're creepy.
Wow.
I don't remember.
The blockheads.
I probably blocked it.
So you, Cody, you watch like a horror film, and you're like, oh, that was kind of scary, and then you go and watch Wallace and Gromit.
Bro,
Like,
Wallace
that
and
was
Gromit, the
also
way that
just as
they
scary.
smile, like their teeth. I don't know what it is. Like from
even Wensleydale.
I think from childhood, I don't know.
Everybody knows the moon is made of cheese.
Yeah, there's just something always so unsettling about it.
It's like this.
What's unsettling about this?
Yeah,
somewhere where there's cheese.
Crackers,
Except it's
we
like-
forgot the
it's like
crackers.
right. I don't know.
4 fingers.
It's just always rubbed me the wrong way, and I don't need to talk about it more than that.
So you
Pretty
must have
disturbed,
not.
actually.
You must have not gone through like the rite of passage that every filmmaker in our generation did, which is making stop motion
No,
with
I never-
Legos.
Oh, I did that.
Yo, stop motion with Legos. I made stop motion with clay and Legos. Like the clay people would interact with the Lego people and
Yeah.
the whole 9. Yeah.
So what I'm guessing is Cody started doing that, and then he went to his computer to check his progress. He's like, oh,
Yeah, that first time it moved, it
Yeah.
freaked me out.
wait, but they're not moving.
It shouldn't be moving. Those aren't real.
Inanimate
It's
object.
unnatural.
I guess I feel similarly to puppets because I think like animation and computer generation, it's like that's fake through and through, and then you take an inanimate, real life, tangible object like a puppet or clay, and now it's moving on its own, and it feels
So,
But that's what's so magical about it.
Toy Story with stop motion would probably be my nightmare.
Wow.
well,
What
there's
about
quite a bit of
Fantastic Mr. Fox? Have you seen that?
so good.
Okay, how about
Not into it.
what,
Took 3 weeks of therapy after watching the movie.
Yeah, right.
what about
You've
the
never had
Lego movie? Because that was animated, but
It's
it
like
kind
a
of looks stop
hybrid.
motion. Is it?
Yeah, Lego didn't bother me.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, yeah, because it is basically CG.
You know what I think is worse than stop motion though? The type of animation style that they used in Polar Express.
No. I
Yeah.
can't handle that. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Yeah, because it's
That would-
uncanny
that's
because of
really
how close
uncanny.
it is to reality, but
Right,
it's
right,
not
right,
quite there yet.
right. The Uncanny Valley.
That was like early days of motion capture, I think. Like,
Oh, is that what it is? Motion capture?
yeah,
That's what makes
Tom
it
Hanks
feel.
played like 5 different
Of
characters
course.
or something.
Yeah. Wait, so favorite Grinch?
Uh,
Yeah, you said you didn't even bother with the Benedict Cumberbatch one, which nobody should.
I mean,
Jim
you're gonna-
Carrey is
the Jim Carrey one has so many great moments, but like the original animated is like so perfect like throughout the whole time, and it's like it's a short length, and it's like I feel like every moment is so well done, whereas like the Jim Carrey one has amazing moments, but it's also like so out there. You're watching it like this is so ridiculous.
The way I would put it, I would say the animation is just a good movie and a good story, and the Jim Carrey Grinch is a terrible movie with so many bad scenes, and it's so tacky.
Yeah.
But then Jim Carrey hits a level of brilliance
Yeah.
in that performance
Mhm.
that it's like unmatched.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it redeems it for sure.
Well spoken.
Thank you.
I remember seeing it in theaters and thinking it was like the greatest thing ever.
You saw that in the theater?
Yeah, I was like a little
I saw it.
kid.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then
Oh, wow.
I think
thought
it came
was the
out
best.
04. Was it 04? 2000.
It's something.
Yeah.
And then I watched it when I was like a teenager, and I was like, oh, this is still funny. And then I watched it like in my 20s, and was like, wow, this is like this script. Like I was like paying attention to like the filmmaking. I was like, this script is like, what? Like
Yeah.
what?
2000.
How did this get filmed? And now I watch it now, and I'm like, oh, it like I love that it's bad. Like I love that it's because
It's
I felt like they
endearing.
didn't. I felt like they really didn't care. Like they were making the movie, and it was so silly and ridiculous and like slapstick, and like they just let Jim Carrey loose. That he
Yeah.
does things that like make no sense, and like his character isn't even really consistent, and it doesn't matter. It's like this whole other universe
Yeah.
of like it's not even the Grinch anymore, you know. And then there's sort of these little through lines that like keep it still
That
the
one
same thing.
scene where the mayor's wife like is showing off her lights, and she has that gun that
Yeah.
she's shooting the lights up
Very
on her house.
high.
Like what? Like what is that?
Isn't
like
this
in the
antique,
original
darling?
animated like Dr. Seuss one, there's like all the Whovilles are like so chill, and they're all just like always smiling and like
Yeah.
eating stuff, and
Well, there's not really much like depth to any of the
Yeah.
characters of the Who's. They're just kind of
Yeah.
like pleasant, but there's this whole drama of like what's going on with the Who's in the live
Yeah.
action, which you have to have because
yeah.
you couldn't film just what it's like in the book.
And then the whole backstory of the Grinch, how he was like this kid who was spurned by society.
Did I have a crush on the Grinch? Of course not.
I didn't ask you that.
It's like it's so stupid. I love it. What about favorite Christmas Carol?
Like
Song? Carol?
Mm.
Or you're saying the creation of
The movie?
Like there's so many
What?
Christmas carols.
Movies.
A Christmas Carol.
The
Christmas
movie.
Carol movies.
The based on the Dickens book. Is it Charles Dickens? Yeah.
Ironically, the
oh,
Jim Carrey
there's-
version of that movie is crap.
Yeah, it's not good. And it has that
Yeah.
weird
Wait, I
style
don't even
of-
know that there's a Jim Carrey version.
It's an
Yeah.
animated.
It's that
the
weird
animated
style
one.
of animation. It's not the
It's
greatest.
Yeah,
It's
like
not crap.
Polar
It's just
Express
not
kinda.
good.
The Muppets Christmas Carol, I think,
Yeah,
is the
Muppet
best.
Christmas Carol, dude.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah,
Mm.
gotta-
Carol
that's what I gotta say.
That's an every year watch for me.
Really,
Muppet Christmas Carol. Yeah.
that's solid.
Wow.
Yeah, I love just like the two little guys who are like following the story around the whole time, like behind the scenes.
My favorite is the Albert Finney Scrooge from the 70s. It's
Yeah.
so dark.
Marley's Ghost.
What?
Scrooge or Marley's Ghost.
It's just called Scrooge.
Okay.
And it's from the 70s with
yeah.
Albert Finney plays Scrooge, and it's got a lot of like iconic songs that I feel like everyone knows. I'll thank you very much. I'll thank you like that. Come on, everyone knows that. And he goes to hell at the end.
Mm.
It's like so intense.
Oh,
Yeah, he goes to hell, and they make a specific room for him in hell that's just an ice box, and then they just get like a chain and wrap him up in it. And he's like, "You're gonna be the only one in hell who's chilly." Like that stuff as a kid was like so. I was like, Mom and Dad, you don't let me watch like anything, and then I watch this this like movie where he goes to literal hell. I'm like, oh, cool. This isn't gonna like
it teaches you a good lesson.
traumatize me for life.
Have you seen the Patrick Stewart one?
I think so. Yeah.
I haven't. I haven't seen any of these.
Wait, Patrick
You've
Stewart
never
from
seen a Muppets
Wait,
Christmas Carol?
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, I've seen that
from
one.
X-Men. From
Yeah.
From
Sir Patrick
from
Stewart?
Star Trek.
1999.
No, I didn't see that one.
Wow.
Hmm.
Are you looking up like a top 100
Yeah.
Christmas Carol movies?
Yeah. There's
so
20.
many.
There's 25 or something like that.
Holy smokes.
And it's ranking them from
Which ones did you guys watch?
I mean the Muppet one, and then I think I may have seen I definitely saw a version of it as a kid that really scared me, and it may have been the one you were
the
describing.
George C. Scott one.
Classic. That one's
That's
classic.
the classic, right?
Yeah. Yeah, everyone argues over like what's the best one, but it really is just what did they watch as a kid that they get the feels from, you know?
Right.
Mhm.
Which I'm curious, what those are.
When I was in high school, my friends and I used to play a game where we would just list off movie names and imagine what they'd be like with Dwayne The Rock Johnson playing the lead.
Oh my god.
Wow.
So The Grinch with Jim Carrey's Grinch with Dwayne The Rock Johnson, that would be really something.
Yeah, they
Christmas Carol.
just would all be bad.
Was that the outcome of the game? You'd be like, imagine Titanic where Dwayne The Rock Johnson was the role of Leo.
We wouldn't even know. We
that
would
would-
just sit. We wouldn't say. We would just sit there and list off movie titles and laugh.
That's it. You don't like dive into the role and start.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just
Imagine
you just
Jumanji.
picture-
Ha ha, Jumanji. ha.
Yeah.
yeah, but with The Rock.
With the throw. Oh wait, they made that. Oh. Did anyone watch it? No.
Elf.
Oh yeah, I listed out some movies to talk about, and Elf wasn't on there.
Why not?
I think you and I have talked about this before. Elf is like, it's so good, and then the ending is so bad, and it doesn't do it for me anymore.
You're such a Scrooge.
Yeah.
I am
You Grinch.
I am a little bit of a Grinch.
What's the spirit of Christmas?
What's better?
Okay.
We should do like a
Do you-
what's it called when you have like pitch two things against each other and then
Conversation.
no.
What are you talking about?
What are you saying?
No, it's like the bracket that you use for like
Oh.
tournaments.
Oh, a bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, if we
Yeah.
created yeah. So bracket for the greatest Christmas movie, you're saying?
Right.
Yeah.
We should do
That's been
we
done
should do
for sure.
Yeah, okay.
So
We should do it.
these are the
Nothing's new
ones
under
these are the ones that came to mind for me.
Okay.
Wait. I was gonna
We'll let him say his.
Well, no,
Alright,
we'll,
you go
we'll throw
ahead.
ours
What
in.
were you gonna say first?
I was gonna say what's better, Elf or Home Alone?
Oh, Home Alone, kid. Come on.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
obvious.
Home Alone.
I just wanted to make sure we were all on the same
Yeah.
page.
It's
You like
clo-
Home Alone better? Well, because Home Alone has a good beginning, middle, and end, and
Right.
Elf has hilarious parts. Like it really is hilarious. But then
Yeah. And as our listeners know, you gotta get them all good.
you gotta get them all. You gotta get them all good.
Here's the thing
But-
about story.
But I mean, Elf is universally loved, I think, because at that time there hadn't been anything that felt timeless and like a Christmas classic that came out. And did you watch the movies that made us on Netflix? They go into
Yeah.
Elf and
They'll
like,
make you like
it
it a
was
lot more.
it was a nightmare to produce, and it was kind of a scrappy production.
I was gonna
But the
watch that.
writer definitely was intentional about like, I wanted to have like the old school Christmassy happiness, and maybe it's just me being like, oh, that's cheesy and dumb. Like, you know, maybe it's just me being a Grinch about it. But I felt like the vibe of the movie changes from being like silly and grounded to then just being like, come on everyone, Christmas spirit, and it's just like not funny anymore. Like there's no comedic relief. It's just sort of like, I don't know. It's just kind of like silly to me. What's that?
That's my phone. How did that
What?
happen?
That was his.
Blasphemy.
Sorry.
That was weird.
If
I
that's
was
not Christmas
Trying
music.
to look up a meme that
I was
you're
I was
saying.
looking at top Christmas movies of all time.
The ones that come to mind were Grinch, Jingle
Yeah.
All the Way, because Jingle All the Way is great.
Wait, what?
It's so bad, but
I've never
it's so
seen
good.
that or heard
Bro,
of it.
it's Arnold Schwarzenegger playing
Oh.
like the average family dad.
Yeah, trying to get a
It's
toy.
so good because it's so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, trying to get
Like
a toy.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is not like a regular like dad character actor, but
Uh-huh.
he's
Yeah.
just super like jacked Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they
Yeah.
don't ever go into the fact that like, oh, maybe he was like a former Navy SEAL or like anything like that. It's just
Yeah.
like it's just like, I'm the
Or-
dad. Like it's just it's so
There's
dumb.
no context. It's like
No.
here, just accept Arnold Schwarzenegger as an average suburban.
You were allowed to do
father.
that in the '90s. You could definitely do that with
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
Well, in the 90s, you definitely did it with Arnold Schwarzenegger all the
Sure.
time. They just
Yeah.
like slapped him into
Yeah.
movies, and he's just like, I'm out of context.
Yeah.
But, like,
have you seen Junior?
Is
Yeah.
that when he gets pregnant?
Yeah.
Have you seen?
I've heard of that.
Have you
No, I
seen the
haven't seen that.
videos of like when DVD bonus features when it was Arnold Schwarzenegger doing commentary scene by scene on movies that he did?
No, but I
Oh my
definitely
god,
want to see that.
it's so good. He's just because he's not actually adding any more information to the scene. He's just describing what you're seeing. So, this is the part where like the guy I fight the bad guy, and you can see here he's trying to punch me, but I stop the punch and I just kind of throw him into the table here, and it's so funny. He's just literally describing what you're seeing. Yeah.
You're adding nothing.
You're adding nothing to the
Oh my
comment.
gosh.
It's so
I'm
good.
trying to get a present for my
Yes,
little boy.
there's a very difficult toy to get, and the little boy who's he was an actor who played my son. You need to get him a toy. It's so funny.
We know, Arnold. We're watching the movie.
And the son in Jingle All the Way is the guy who plays Anakin in the Phantom Menace.
What?
It's him as a kid. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he just all he wants is a Turbo Man.
Turbo Man.
Like the
And then
Turbo
what's
Man doll.
who's the mailman guy who's in it? Who's like also the other father trying to get the same toy.
Yeah, I forget that actor's name. He's great. in it, though.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yeah, Jingle All the Way, classic. Home Alone.
I'd love to watch that actually.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? I don't know. That's a forever argued thing. Eyes Wide Shut, is
Mark
that a
says
Christmas
yes.
movie? I don't know. It's Christmas time. The Santa Claus with Tim Allen, classic. And that's Scrooge. That's Scrooge. And I forgot about Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Man, Muppet
And
Christmas
Charlie
Carol's
Brown
dope.
Christmas.
Huh?
Hello.
Oh,
And
It's not
yeah.
feature length.
It's
but
a Wonderful Life.
it's a wonderful friggin' life, dude.
Yeah, It's a Wonderful Life's great. You're right. Yeah, it's
mean,
literally on our
It's the
wall.
ultimate
Yeah.
movie.
It almost like goes without saying. It's like
Every morning we chant our supplications
Or George Bailey's.
to George Bailey.
we salute.
5 George Baileys.
We salute. Oh, Jamin.
I don't think I like
want
it
the
very
moon,
much being
Mary?
having an angel without any
Mary, where's my kids, Mary?
Zuzu's pedals.
My roommate all the time. We always quote
What do you want, the mo?
when he comes back and he's like all excited and he goes into the house and just like kids. Just the way he says that has stuck with me, and I always quote that.
Around Christmas time, my friends in high school would always be like, we just read by each other like, "Merry Christmas, Mr. Potter," and then the other would respond, "And Merry Christmas to you in jail."
Go home, they're waiting for you. Yeah, it's so good.
I didn't watch that movie for the first like 25 years of my life. I didn't want. My dad was always like, "We need to watch this movie." Like I used to watch it, and I was like, "It's black and white, Dad. It looks stupid and boring. Like
Black and white,
I don't want to
Dad.
watch a dumb, boring black and white movie." And then I watched it when I was like 25, and I just cried and I cried, and I was like, "Life is so beautiful. This is what is important, and you need to focus on what's important and live for today." And and now-
I watched that one
Never
year.
taking moment for granted.
I watched that one year and got like depressed because like it is a beautiful story, and I don't know how I feel about it now, but it's like, dude, he didn't get to do any of this stuff. Like he didn't get to live
it's
his
a little
dreams. He
depressing.
didn't get to
That's-
travel.
I
And he
think
just his wife popped out like 6 kids, and he's like, I guess I gotta just do this
I
now.
think that's a movie that
Yeah.
it will age with you. Like wherever you are in life, you'll probably have a different take on that movie.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, when I was a kid, I didn't even. I was just like, wow, what a wonderful. Like I didn't think about like the moral or anything. I was like, oh, it's fun. It's a fun story. And then you're older and you're like, oh no.
But I think that's one of the things that kind of sets it apart is because every kind of uplifting movie like that, it always ends with like, oh, and the person did what they want and the
Yeah.
dreams came true. This is like, it's so
It's more about
real
perspective, yeah.
because his dreams didn't come true, but then he found meaning where he didn't think he'd find it. Right under his nose.
Well, meaning was right here all along.
Yeah, and he just wasn't aware of the impact that he had on his
Yeah.
world.
You see, you really had a wonderful life. Don't you see what a shame it'd be to throw it away?
The other line my friends are just
Clarence!
we say, she's just about to close up the library.
When he's like shaking.
Shaking her. Mary, don't you recognize me? Mary!
Where's our kids, Mary? I need you, Mary.
As if that's like the worst possible like scenario in the world.
We're just about to close up the library.
yeah. She's not like a hooker. Like his
Yeah, like he's keeping the information, and
That-
she's just like has glasses now.
Yeah,
She's
yeah, yeah.
old maid.
like that. Yeah, you just like in the 50s, the worst thing you could be is that woman who never got married and had kids, and instead you're
And
just
a
like
librarian.
a well-read librarian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, no, not this of all the realities.
She's
that
like,
we're
leave,
in."
she's like, leave me alone. I'm perfectly happy going home by myself.
Mary, what are you doing? Reading books? You can't have
I'm
that.
perfectly happy being an independent single woman.
Mary, you were
Mary, your meaning needs to come up from the perspective of a man. Mary,
Aren't you even pregnant, Mary?
you're not a mother. You're not anything. You have an education? No!
Oh, Mary.
You're supposed to make me chicken over a fire in an old abandoned house.
Oh, Mary, is your womb barren, Mary?
Are you a virgin still, Mary? This is tragic. Wow, I never thought about it that way. Yeah, like if they made that movie now, she would be like a stripper or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, the thing is, they actually there kind of was that in that movie. Like there was like the casino, and was there like a strip club or something on the main strip? Like there was.
It just says like girls.
Yeah. But like Mary was too pure to go that route. I guess.
no, that Violet was there.
Yeah.
She's like fighting.
Violet was a dirty little.
This old thing. I only wear this when I don't care how I look. Oh,
That car like stops in traffic.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh. Oh, I love that scene where she wants to go out with him, and he's just like, he's talking about like hiking the mountain and like going. He's like, "No, we'll take our shoes off." See?
And she starts freaking out. Take our shoes off.
Bare feet. It's 4 miles up to.
Yeah.
Well, just let's forget the whole thing. Oh, all right, Cody. We need you to do a whole scene-by-scene breakdown of "It's a Wonderful Life." I'm
Dude,
so in the mood to watch it now.
We could do a whole episode on that.
You're
movie.
right. We could.
Jed would need to be a part of it.
When I was making the Y stories, I was trying to find some lines from the movie
For the intro,
and nothing really fit.
You should do what Jono did, just throw it in there like nonsensically.
I can't even understand the words that are in the intro.
I don't think I like it very much having an angel without any wings, and then it just goes into the.
Yeah,
it works though.
Yeah, you like it. Feels good.
It's cute.
Well, it was sort of like around. It was like the New Year's around Christmas time, and then we have this. So it's sort of like in the context of that worked.
Yeah.
If we just used it randomly, it would be like, okay, what do you guys like?
Yeah.
Like obsessed much? You obsessed about it?
Obsessed about it.
I happen to be walking by. I just came here to get warm. He's making violent love to me, mother. That's this. There's so many scenes where you're just like, what?
And she just stays up the stairs. She's like, what? And she never comes down.
And then, I don't want to get. And when he's shaking, I think I talked about this in the previous podcast episode. Like, so many old movies, they're so violent with women's
men
arms
shaking women,
and shoulders. Like, like you watch like men just grab the arm. They're just like, get away. And there's like he like loves her and he doesn't want to admit it.
Oh yeah,
and he's grabbing her shoulders.
Like, really
and
aggressive.
Like,
Yeah.
and like
That is one of the most.
I don't want to get married to anybody. And she's just like.
And she's like, oh, George.
And yeah, and then they just like interrupt each other, and they're just like, George, and they just like smash each other's faces into each other. It's
That
like,
is
what's
one of the
happening?
most uncomfortable kiss scenes to watch.
I know, it's so
something
confusing.
that back in the day, I guess, the people are watching it like oh.
I think it was
like
it was like passion.
It's
like,
so beautiful and
yeah.
and now it's like oh.
I mean, you really feel the tension of the moment, so you gotta give them that.
It's great performances, but it's that sort of weird, elevated, theatrical performance with like the blatant like what's the word?
Yeah, I agree.
Disrespect towards women.
Yeah.
George.
Yeah, some just general cultural misogyny going on.
A little bit.
A little bit of that.
Sprinkled in.
George Lasso's stork. Stork. So many good like I want to hear somebody take all the James Stewart like mumbles
string 'em
and just string them all together. Be like 2 hours. It's like Have you heard Jim Carrey do his impression?
Oh, so good.
He's like he can make anything
never seen that.
sound. He can make anything sound like hopeful. He's like, well, it looks like we're gonna have a nuclear holocaust.
That's so beautiful. Look at that mushroom cloud.
So good. Oh man.
Guys, shut up. What's your favorite Christmas song, and then your least favorite Christmas song?
Whoa.
Yeah. Mary, did you know?
Fallon's listening.
I'll tell you what the most egregious, condescending lyric of not just Christmas songs, but all songs of all time.
Oh my God.
What the hell is that? I always forget what it's called, but when the 80s, when they had all the famous rock stars get together and perform that song for like African hunger.
No,
What?
for AIDS, I think.
Was it AIDS?
Yeah.
This,
Wow.
Thank you to AIDS for sponsoring. AIDS Farm Aid.
Yeah,
No, that wasn't
right,
it.
right.
No, it wasn't it. It was it was hunger.
No, they did another one
Seems
Oh
like
my
we're
God.
getting hung up on the details.
in like 2009 or something.
Okay, so
You're talking about the thing that is at the end of Bohemian Rhapsody?
no, that's Farm Aid, right?
Oh.
Whatever. God. So the
Clean.
point of the story is the song that they sing, and there's a line where they go, "Do they know it's Christmas time at all?" And they're talking about people in Africa who are suffering.
We Are the World.
We are the world. There you go.
Oh.
And when you think about that, do they know it's Christmas time at all? Is the most condescending, outrageously lacking in perspective lyric of all time. Because from their perspective, they're like, we invented Christmas and we know it's Christmas because of the gifts and stuff and Santa. When it's like, no,
Stupid poor people, they don't know.
Yeah, you know that Christmas started over there, right?
Yeah.
We didn't come up with it. But it's weird.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's weird that you hear that song still, because you would think that would get called out.
I don't even. Yeah, I've probably heard that song. It's just been like in Target, and I just like tune it out, because I think my favorite is O Tenenbaum, the Vince Guaraldi trio.
Oh yeah.
I like just the jazzy, no lyrics, instrumental, Christmassy stuff. And then my least favorite is everything else. I hate Christmas music.
Wow, really?
I hate it. Other than what I just described, I just can't stand any of it.
Most of it is
I hate
totally
fun
terrible.
and I hate joy and I
Some kinds of joy and some kind of fun. Yeah, I do. Just kidding. No, I really can't stand. Especially, you know what it is. It's the pop Christmas stuff that's come out that you can't help but hear when you go into like any store. Like from now until January something. It ruined the rest of it, because now I just hear people like doing guitar solos and like vocal runs with all these songs that we've heard a million times, and it's just like, look at how my voice can be Christmas, yeah. And it's just like
It is interesting how it's
so
such a
annoying. It's
like
so annoying.
trend for, probably a couple decades, few decades. Where
Yeah, I mean,
I guess it's been actually quite long lasting. But yeah, I like everyone needs to do a Christmas album at some point.
Yeah, the obligatory. I'm kind of, my career is waning. And
Have you listened to Bob Dylan's Christmas album?
No.
It's so great.
Christmas, and we're having a Christmas time.
It's so good.
The snow is falling on the ground.
Except it's really old Bob Dylan, so it's that with raspiness. So it's like
Jingle bells all the way.
it's so good.
I think Tom Waits has a song called like New Year's Eve or something. It's not really Christmassy, but it's it's kind of about that time of year, and it's beautiful. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a little Nat King Cole in the background isn't horrible. That's not bad. I like that. But
Yeah, if I'm playing anything, it's like jazz, instrumental, no lyrics for Christmas, just to set the mood.
Bublé, little Michael Bublé.
getting the vibe. Oh yeah,
Michael
and we
Bublé.
talked about this the other day, and I forgot I mentioned Nutcracker. I think that's kind of
Oh,
Christmassy.
yeah.
I like the Nutcracker a lot.
Yeah. I love the kind of Christmas music I love listening to is like really old, like classical or really old hymns. Like at my church, we just did our Lessons in Carols service, which is like a traditional Christmas service that has like kind of 9 lessons, which is like scripture readings telling the story of Christmas, and then 9 like different songs that go along with that. And they go all out with like a full orchestra, full choir, and it's like super well done. And there's some like lesser known like Christmas Advent hymns that are just really beautiful. Like it's so good because you like that they're not well known because you don't hear them everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't hear really cheap versions of them. But like if you ever look up "See Amid the Winter Snow" is awesome, or
Excuse you.
Sorry, there's a beer.
yeah, that's a really good song. Yeah, I love like really old school classical.
So what's your least favorite?
Yeah, probably like the top like
Jingle Bell Rock.
5, ones that just get played over and over and over again.
Wish Mariah Carey would shut her mouth.
Well, there are
Whoa.
Christmas songs that are always bad, and then there are some that sometimes
Yeah.
can be okay, right? Yeah, I think I Saw Mom Kissing Santa Claus. I haven't heard any version of that I've enjoyed. You know,
I
Now that I think
also
about it, there's a few. I think that you can get away with more things in songs than you would otherwise if it's Christmas themed. Like the other one, it's "Baby It's Cold Outside."
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like it's
that's
just
pretty bad.
Yeah, it's just
Well-
date rape. It's like
Well, there's like the history behind it. I have a friend who like told me all about this. I don't know all of it, but
so if this is
like,
wrong, it's Luke's
No.
friend's fault.
No, I'm not going to try to explain it, but there's like, for the time that it was written, there's like a lot of subcontext that's happening where basically like if the woman like wants to, like be with this guy, but if she in that culture, if she were to openly like not push back on his advances, then it would like not be.
And she's like a
Acceptable.
she's like a loose
Yeah.
woman where so basically in order to be a woman and to have sex with the guy and to maintain your honor, you need to prove to the world that you were coerced.
Yeah, kind of. So it's still messed up. But it's
more
like-
messed up.
Yeah.
I don't think it's more.
that gets 5 yikes.
Yeah. Still pretty
Here at the Votary Podcast, we measure things in yikes, and that gets 5 of them.
But yeah, all these songs are just on the radio every day. And
My
then-
personal favorite is "Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer."
Is that a song?
Yeah. Yeah, you never heard that?
No,
What?
That's yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Come on. Grandma got ran over by a reindeer.
No,
Walking
I
home
hate
from
that song.
Santa Christmas Eve. You're trolling us.
no, I really
Come on.
don't know that.
How do you not know that?
I don't know.
Yeah, what
Because-
is it with Christmas and people wanting to make like really like
Weird,
horrible
dark,
so-
twisted
like
stuff.
like I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus and
Yeah.
stuff.
I think the implication there is that dad dressed up as Santa, but
Oh yeah.
maybe not. I don't know.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's ridiculous because Santa's real and he.
Oh, do you,
showed
yeah?
up
Did
at
you
the
guys?
house.
Oh,
Right.
perfect. Yeah, perfect question.
Oh, spoiler alerts coming up.
Spoiler alert: Christmas is fake.
Why would you say that? If you are 12 years old, turn off
Christmas is a pagan holiday that's celebrated by
oh,
Christians.
that's a
It's
whole
weird.
other discussion.
I mean, it's true, but well, I have thoughts. Well, I'm Luke, and I'm so well read, and I have thoughts. No, I don't know enough about that to really discuss.
Mike
it.
is a Christmas troll.
No. The thing. What did you just say about the Santa
Whoa.
Claus thing? Were you raised with Santa Claus?
Well, I was raised by my parents with my siblings.
Santa Claus raised me for the first 15 years,
yeah.
and then
I was
He
a
does
kid
it with all
that
children.
that ruined Santa Claus for other people. It's like,
well, so did your parents tell you right off the bat, like,
Oh, yeah.
hey kid?
I think
Sa-
a lot of this has
Santa
to
Claus isn't real, but some parents tell their kids that
So
Santa Claus
that's
is real. I was
interesting.
like, oh my god,
You
I'll tell them.
probably so you probably had some like trust going on with your parents a little bit, right?
Was it you wanting to troll these children, or was it you or like?
No, I
these kids
legitimately
need
wanted to
know?
bring them into the light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus loves
No.
you, and Santa's fake.
You guys don't know. Santa's not real.
Have you heard the good news?
Santa's fake.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with where you were in the oldest to youngest of your siblings too.
But it sounded like your family just didn't do Santa.
Never.
Wow. Yeah, I wonder about that. Like, I'm not about to have a kid or anything, but if I do have kids, am I gonna do the Santa thing? My
Wait,
niece
so-
and nephew, it's like my sister does this thing with having Santa be not like such a big deal. It's sort of like Santa's like an afterthought. It's like he gave you like a couple things.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like all like she, it's almost like she doesn't want him to take credit for everything.
Oh, that's fine.
Understandably.
And because of that, it's almost like Santa isn't as big of a deal. It's not just like, oh my God, Christmas, Santa. Like it's just sort of like, oh yeah, and Santa's gonna come.
Yeah.
He'll eat some cookies. And he'll give me a couple things.
He might drop by if he's in the.
But it's not like 364
neighborhood.
days. They're like writing Santa, and it's
Yeah.
like this big thing. I looked at my mom in the eye when I was like a kid. I don't remember how old, and I was just like, Mom, be honest. Like, no, tell me the truth.
Real talk, Mom.
Santa's not real. Right. Right. And she's like, no, he's not. And my dad is on the chair and he's just like, we're not supposed to. And I'm like, supposed to? Like in my head, I'm like, there's
else
like
have you been
there's like
lying about?
parent police that like tell them what to do and what
And
to say. And I'm
then-
like, what else are they telling
Yeah,
me to
it's like
say?
you were uncovering a conspiracy.
Yeah, no, in my head, I was like, nothing's real.
Well, I'll tell you,
The parent police.
Who's telling you to tell me lies?
Santa is such an interesting like cultural and sociological thing. Like, why?
Yeah, I saw a
break it down
meme
for us,
recently.
Cody.
It was like, of course, it was like like an older guy like patting this little kid on the head, like, of course Santa's real. Imagine how many people would have to be in on it. And I'm
So,
like,
yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's crazy. It's a little bit of a side note, but relevant because it's Jim Carrey. When I saw The Truman Show,
Yeah.
I was paranoid for years.
That's
that-
happening to me because
Yeah.
I'm a narcissist.
And that's
I'm in-
when you found out Santa wasn't real.
Yeah, because I saw Jim Carrey in The Grinch, and I was like, he
Oh.
can't be two people. Not everything is as it seems.
And you were 21.
And that led me on
Why
a
is
path.
the Grinch in this movie?
Just someone who
Why
can't.
isn't he green?
You can't be the Grinch
How-
and an actor.
How was he green in one movie and not green in another?
So, were you raised with Santa?
So again, my parents raised me. I was raised with my siblings, but I
That was a weird way to say that.
My parents raised me, and I was raised
My parents
with
raised
my
me
own
alongside my
siblings,
siblings.
And, I'm James Bailey.
no, it's George Bailey, not James. It's James Stewart. And
Hey guys, do you
and
have
I was just mirroring the way you asked the question.
Right.
Was I raised with Santa?
yeah. Yeah.
So it's just a dumb joke that has now sent us asunder. But I was raised, like Santa was real, but the way that my parents did it was similar to what sounds like your sister does. Like they weren't about to give Santa all the freaking credit. So it was like we opened our quote unquote Santa gift, one gift that they designated as from Santa on Christmas Eve, and then like Christmas was all about like family. So it was Santa did not get a lot of like credit, and they didn't really do. I don't have memories of like writing to Santa. I think I do have some memories of like let's leave the cookies out and see what happens. But it was so short lived for me because I was the youngest. So my brother, pretty early on, was just like, this is all fake, right? This is not real.
Dude, that legit like affected the way I thought about like spirituality and like everything. I was like, oh, everyone's lying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder, and it was
All
so
right,
weird.
I see how it is.
It was so weird because we were really close with our cousins. We lived very, very nearby them, and
Gosh.
and they continued to believe, and their parents let them believe in Santa like well into their teenage years. And so it was like so weird to be
Well,
like,
at that point, it's really like, yeah, the parents are insane, but like the kids are dumb.
it's like I think
Or they don't
Like
have
if you
any
believe,
friends.
like if you believe in Santa and you're a teenager, it's like,
But those families that you can just imagine them, they're like, kid comes home from school and they go to their parents like, Mom, they said Santa wasn't real. And then they go and they're like, some families don't believe in Santa.
Yeah. You don't listen.
and
to
he
them.
stops coming to their house when that happens.
Now don't invite him over
now
ever again.
Santa Claus said, take up your mistletoe cross and follow me. And a lot of people are not going to understand.
Take up your mistletoe.
And ask a girl out. Hide it in your pocket.
Who came
and when
up
the-
with the
And
mistletoe
when the
thing?
time is right,
Baby, it's cold
after
outside.
marriage, when the time is right, you take the mistletoe out.
Who's the first guy that came up with that? He was like, "You want to kiss me? Why? Oh, there's some stuff up
Some
there.
stuff. There's like some plants above us.
It's like a thing that
You ever heard of mistletoe?
I want to make out.
No, this is a real thing.
It's pretty because of the pretty stuff.
And then he goes, "This guy, you'll never guess."
Yo.
What? It totally worked.
She has to. She has to. There's the stuff up there.
Yeah, it feels like I think you should leave sketch. It's because there's plants above us.
Luke, did you have Santa childhood?
Well, yeah. The funny thing is, I don't have any memories of my parents like really strongly either way being like, Santa's real, and trying to get me to buy in, or having a sit down conversation, and be like, Luke, Santa's not real. I don't have either of those. It was just like I watched.
But
movies.
you didn't grow up in America too much.
Yeah, but
Does that have something to do with
the
it?
way we celebrated like Christmas is still very
American.
Like
Okay.
I watched, I think I just watched a lot of movies that had Santa in it, so I knew
Yeah.
what was going
So
on.
did you believe in
and
Santa though?
I don't think so.
You didn't.
I don't think I ever did.
Wow.
Because also I saw all these movies where one kid, or like shows where a kid tells another kid that Santa's not real.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So weird. Like the amount of lying that parents have to do to perpetuate that story.
Yeah.
Like, because if they're gonna see Santa on TV, they're gonna see Santa at the mall, they're gonna see Santa in different movies, and it's different men representing Santa, but they're always purporting that character as being the Santa.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
then parents have to come up with reasons and logic for why that's the case. Like, there's a lot of Santas, but there's only one real Santa. Or it's like, he's pretending to be Santa. He knows he's not Santa. You know, you just have to lie to your kids.
That's what's so fun about that movie, The Santa Claus, because they go so far into like trying to answer every question that a kid could have, and it's like so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's you're like, oh,
It's magical.
do I believe in Santa now? I think you've convinced me, Tim Allen.
rock solid arguments.
What's the idea there? It's like kind of like a passing of the baton in Santa. Like,
Yeah. It's like
In order to become Santa, one must slay the other Santa.
It's like there can only be one Sith. I mean Santa.
yeah, it
Only
just sort
one
of
that-
like
no more, no
happens
less.
outside of their control. Which is completely ridiculous, but it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah,
Santa's
good.
It's like it definitely adds like a magic when you're a kid to the whole experience. There is like this excitement, but then once you realize the magic is a lie, then the rest of life is like really black and white and boring, and like
That's
you're
why I
like,
kinda
oh, so like
appreciate-
everything. So it's just this then, huh?
Yeah. That's why I feel kind of grateful I didn't have that like ripping the Band-Aid off moment.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents, they never did the cookie thing. They definitely like put Santa on like presents, like the name Santa, like from Santa. But I always kind of knew that I'm like, oh, this is just a way of you being nice, and like you got this present, but you don't want to get credit for it, so you put Santa on there.
Yeah.
I think my family did that.
I'm exaggerating a bit too. Like obviously, in some ways, I think it probably made me think about things like
More critically.
well, just like as a kid, like not just thinking like, oh, this is all there is, and like thinking deeper about other realities, and like, oh, like that's kind of interesting. So maybe it's actually been like eye opening or beneficial. I don't really know, but because some people are like, I like really traumatized from it, and I'm like kind of just exaggerating. It wasn't like that big of. It
If
wasn't
you really,
like that big of
you
a
can
deal.
be real with us, Mike, if you really are. You don't have to try to.
yeah,
Right.
This is safe
So-
space.
Guys,
This is
I
safe
still
space.
wake up in cold sweats, just like missing Santa. Santa's not real. Santa. Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh no.
You have to relive it.
Every morning I wake up with the belief that Santa's real. Then it goes away by the time I.
That would be a
take
good
shower.
movie, like a really dark movie on the psychological toll that parents had on a kid around Santa, and like
Yeah.
he's just living in like this
Damn, that would be insane.
this state of detachment from reality for the rest of his life.
Imagine it's someone who is actually like legitimately like gullible and just believed it until they were like someone on the spectrum.
or they were so bought into it that when their parents tried to
That'd be really dark.
pull the rug out,
Jeez, Jamin.
they
And then he becomes Santa.
no. Well, man,
He's in a
I
wheelchair.
just was picturing Joker.
he's in a, well, so yeah, he's
He's in
so
a wheelchair. He like can't talk.
he's so
He's so crazy.
he's so invested in the story and
He's
the
blind.
He travels to the
got
North
no
Pole
legs,
by himself.
but
He can't think.
Dies on the way.
he loses his brain, and then he doesn't have a brain,
Polar bear eats him.
and then a polar bear.
It's just it's gonna be the Revenant now.
Oh man.
But yeah, so
Sorry.
he's so bought into the lie that when his parents finally say, "Oh, it's not real," it breaks his brain. Like he can't.
Yeah. No,
and
I can.
he
picture
Makes his brain.
He refuses to believe what. Now he's in a state of paranoia where the parents are lying, and he's so attached to the story of Santa. So then he dedicates his life to
I needs to find my real dad.
yeah, defining Santa.
Santa.
And maybe he turns into like a serial killer or something.
I don't relate to this at all.
Yeah.
So do you guys still get the Christmas feels at all? You get the Christmas spirit? You get the
for
you get the
sure,
good
dude.
vibes? Yeah.
I feel like
when I see that first snowfall,
Christmas.
dude. Oh my god,
Dude, I'm a snowbirding, dude.
Yeah, I
That's
love
so-
Christmas
the ground,
wasn't
dude.
ruined for me, so it's always been nice.
I love the snow, man. I gotta have the snow. I love it.
Love the snow.
I don't get the same vibes, but some Christmas movies, which is what we started talking about, but that's what I think still gives me a little bit of the nostalgia. Maybe it's just movies give me, nostalgia in general, and so the Christmas movies, they're like wrapped up in that. In nostalgia, I think in like a good way. It's not like oh, like when I was a kid everything was great and now it sucks. But there is a little bit of that, but I don't as far as like the decorative stuff and like the lights and like the that's maybe I don't know if that's ever really done.
I mean,
anything for me.
everyone has different ways of celebrating and different taste in terms of their decoration and stuff. So I think that in terms of anything, you can apply it. Same thing to Christmas. Like some people, the way that they celebrate Christmas feels really nice and connects to you personally. And then, maybe if it's just like blow up air thing, ornaments in the or whatever it is.
There's a right and a wrong way. There's
That's
only
exactly
one
what
way.
I'm trying to say.
There's only one way.
Guys, have you driven around and seen like the little it's outside of churches a lot with the nativity?
Yeah.
Every single one that I've seen this year has no baby Jesus. Like there are people just out there like stealing baby Jesus.
Oh my
Are you
gosh.
serious?
Every single one I've seen this year, which has
Doesn't-
got to
Well,
be
they're
like
valuable.
5 of them.
There's a really big black market for. Baby
I'm
Jesus.
envisioning you go to somebody's
You
house.
seem
and
really aware
in-
of.
in their shed they just have like 6 of these like baby Jesuses.
Dude, those things are going $20 a pound.
Yeah, what value does these thieves get from
They're all like different materials, and you're doing it by weight.
I feel like it's just like teenage rascals that are just like, it's funny, because they're all gathering around like a basket now. There's no real, but it's like,
If it was a good joke, they would have replaced it with something
yeah, right?
like a little raccoon
Baby
or
Yoda.
Little Jack Skellington or something.
yeah.
I think I saw someone replace
Baby
it with
Santa.
little Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda, that's
Yeah,
good.
Grogu.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Who's Grogu?
that's his real name.
Baby Yoda.
It's not. It's not actually Baby Yoda.
No,
Spoiler
his
alert.
name's Baby Yoda.
You're wrong.
Sorry.
I was gonna say the wheels
Mine
really.
doesn't.
I was gonna say the wheels really falling off this podcast, but I don't think they were ever fully on.
They were never on.
we were gonna talk about Christmas movies, and then it's just like
All right.
it's Christmas themed. What?
Are we wrapping up?
I think it's about that time.
Well, let's. What's your favorite Christmas movie? of all time?
Let's just rank Christmas.
10 out of 10. I recommend Christmas.
Of all the Christmases you've had, how's this one shaping up? Sad or happy?
I'll give it 5 snowflakes, 5 sugar plums, out of a possible 98.
And a partridge
And
in
a
a pear tree.
You asked one question and then you answered a different one.
What's
What's
your
your
favorite
favorite Christmas?
What's your
movie?
favorite Christmas?
What's your favorite?
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
My favorite Christmas was when I got a Lego set.
I can actually think of like a year where I
And it was
got
Christmas
a series of
outside.
presents that was like
Crushed it.
Yeah,
Best presents.
yeah.
Honestly, like last year, was it last year? I think last year was like the best Christmas I ever had as far as gifts are concerned. Like
Really?
Back to like
people
like 6th grade.
No, like literally last year, cause I wanted like expensive guitar pedals and stuff, and like I got like surprised with just so many things that were like really thoughtful and interesting and like
Wow.
like poetic, but like I also got like I think it was like 2 or 3 guitar pedals I had been wanting, and those are like those
pairs of socks.
it's like pricey.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and like wool socks. I always get that every year. And then before that, the best ones were like definitely Legos. Like I got Legos when I was a kid. I got Legos like every year. I just wanted Legos, and I still have all of them in like storage.
I definitely had.
too.
I have one memory of, because my mom was always because she wasn't trying to hide Santa, so the gifts would accumulate under the tree over like the month of December, and so you'd always be like spying, like, oh, which ones are for me, like, sizing them up and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there was one year where the box that had my name on it was like as big as I was. It was huge. And I'm like, in my mind, for some reason, my like 8-year-old mind, I was like, they got me a robot.
Bro, bro, I have a similar story. Yeah.
I was like, this is definitely a robot.
There's
Because I couldn't
definitely
I
a
tried
pony
to
in there.
I tried to like push it and it was like really heavy. And I was like, this is a robot that I'm going to like, in my mind, it was a robot suit that I could climb in. And I had no reason to feel that way. Nothing, no hints to that end. So when I opened it and it was a bed set, like a bunch of comforters and sheets, like new bedding.
No way.
And I was like,
That's worse than Santa not being real.
I was just like, what the freak? Like, so I had built up what was in that box so much.
Did you ever sneak like a look? I knew where my parents kept the Christmas presents in a certain part of the closet.
No.
And I would sneak a look. It's the worst. Like,
You're a bad boy.
I have a very vivid memory because I was a very good boy. And I
still are.
my,
a pretty good boy.
I remember like I was in our house and I was like playing with like a ball or something and it bounced in my parents' room, went under their bed, and I went under their bed to get the ball and then I saw a skateboard down there and I'd asked for a skateboard. I like immediately started crying and I ran to my mom like, sorry mom, like I saw the skateboard. I didn't mean to, but I saw it and Christmas is ruined.
And then she beat you with the skateboard.
Yeah.
Why are you crying?
Don't you ever look under there.
Because you felt so bad
felt
that
so
you like,
bad.
because it's not like you were looking for it.
I was like, I've destroyed Christmas.
That's so funny. I didn't say anything, and I saw like a big box that had like a picture. I just saw a picture of like a 6-disc massive speaker like CD player, and I was like, oh yeah, I got the sickest sound system ever. And then I was like so pumped, and I said nothing, and I was just thinking about it, and I was like, anticipating, and I was like, yeah. And then the final gift for me, it's like we open one gift at a time in my family, where it's like so slow and
Same.
respectful. And then so I get my big gift, and it's like last or whatever, because I'm the youngest, so it's like it's most fun for everyone to watch me open the gifts. And I like start opening, and I'm like, yeah, and I open, and it's like a 1-disc CD player, like nothing bad. It's just like it's like this big, little speakers, little tape player, little CD player. And I opened it because I had built it up. Like I asked for a CD player, and I would have been fine with that CD player.
But
because I built it up, I was like, I'm confused. Because in the closet, you guys have a really like a no, like thank you, like this is great, but like you have like a really cool, really good one in the closet, and that one's not for me.
Missing out here.
And my mom's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, let me just show you. And I like show, and it's just an old box for a different CD player. And what it is, it's just showing all the different series of CD players of models that they had for like Sony.
Oh my God.
So I saw a little piece of like, this is the highest end version we make. And it was just a different old box filled with like jackets or something.
God.
And I was just like, oh, I'm never doing that again.
irrelevant.
I'm never going in the closet. I'm going back in
Did
the
they
closet.
punish
everybody.
you?
No, they just, I think we're like, it was just sort of like you learned your lesson kind of thing.
you
Like
learned a
like
valuable
you
lesson.
Yeah,
that's
you
what
ruined Christmas.
like that's what you
Yeah.
get. But I had that CD player until I was like, like 22. Like I still use it. Like it worked fine. Like I don't need 6 discs.
Silliness.
And you don't when you're in like a small like basement room. I'm pretty sure like nobody wanted me to have the like massive speakers anyway.
Correct.
But
Do you want to hear a really horrible story? I think that breaks like all the sacred laws of Christmas. One of my best friends growing up, Greer McCollum, if he's watching this. Once I was hanging out with Greer, and
up,
we
Greer?
were chilling around Christmas time with his
that's a
brother,
kind of cheese.
his little brother Mac,
Oh,
and Greer was like, "Oh, I got to get Mac birthday present." So like we
Mac and cheese. There's no way you
not
don't call them
a
mac and
Christmas Christmas present. And we were in this like video game store. And he's like, "Okay, Mac, like pick out a video game." He's like, "Okay," and he like went and got some like PS1 game, and Greer bought it for him. First of all, that like from the very start, like he just no element of surprise or anything. It's like, get what you want, I'll pay for it. Like, no.
Merry Christmas.
Boring.
And then they went
nice.
home. They went home.
Yeah.
Mac played the game a bunch, and then he's like, "Okay, that's good." And then they took the game, and then he wrapped it up and put it under the tree. I was like,
And he still opened it on Christmas?
Yeah, he opened it on Christmas. Like, you just had to delay, like, getting what you already knew and you'd already used.
There's a
It's like
lesson
you
in
are ruining the magic of Christmas right now.
that. Yeah. That's
Oh
awful.
my god.
Well, it's not only just ruining the
That
magic, but it's
horrified
like, what's the point of
Yeah.
It's
opening
like
it?
opening a piece
Nobody-
of gum, chewing on it,
I would
putting
understand.
putting it back in the wrapper.
And his parents,
Yeah.
wait, and his parents knew he did this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
think it
the
was something
thing.
they regularly did. Maybe not his parents, but like the
So
kids all were doing it for each other.
Who are they putting up the facade for?
I don't know.
These kids are in prison, 100%.
Yeah, like who? What? Or like just in case Santa's watching on Christmas
Yeah.
Day, we did the thing.
Yeah,
Thanks. I had a story.
No,
Whoa,
it's-
thanks, mom and
Wow.
dad. Like what?
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It wrecked me.
That's wild. One
I
time,
think about it all the time.
one time, the big finale gift.
Mm-hmm.
My parents, I was probably like 12. Yeah.
You can tell Jamin's done when he just starts.
Yeah,
like,
he just
interrupting
starts
people.
mimicking, but now I can't even think because he's like in my brain. He's just there.
12.
12. Yeah, it was like, all right, guys. I'm the youngest, so they were like, all right, guys, everyone go down in the basement. Your gifts are like in the basement. You'll find them. And my older siblings go down, and they both opened paintball guns. Was like their big gift.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, whoa! And I was like, oh, awesome! Like I'm getting a paintball gun. Like I was so pumped because like they found theirs. Yeah, and I'm like, they got paintball guns. Obviously, I'm gonna find mine, and I'm.
Why would you just automatically have?
I assumed that why wouldn't we all three get it? Like, why would they get it? So in my mind, I'm looking for a paintball. I'm like scouring all over the basement, I'm climbing over like whatever, and I turn and because there was like a side bedroom off the basement, and I went into there and looked in there, and I turned and my whole family is standing in the doorway, and they're just looking at me, smiling, and they're laughing at me, and I'm like, what like what did I miss? Like what? Where, and I was so confused. And they're like, Cody, look around. Like, look right in front of you. And I'm not joking. Directly in front of me was this bright orange bike, brand new with a bow on it. And I just didn't see it.
Wow.
Because it's not a paintball gun.
Right. So I was just looking for a paintball gun everywhere and I was so confused. And they're like,
look, and it folds up into a paintball bazooka.
but that's a story that in my family gets referenced every year.
Oh
now
my
because
gosh.
It's like,
Were you excited about the
Cody
bike?
and the bike.
I was, but there was a huge moment of coming down that I was like,
Yeah.
oh, like it's a bike and not okay. And I had to, yeah.
Were you disappointed by the
Reevaluate.
bike?
I think I was only because I had hyped up that I thought I would, but yeah, I was,
Expectations.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
both
The
of your
worst
brothers
thing.
have paintball guns,
But it was-
you can't.
it was weird to.
You're like, who they're gonna shoot at?
Yeah, me. So what am I? Yeah, what am I? Just a moving target now? Target on wheels.
We got you two paintball guns,
So you
and
can
your
run.
little brother is
Saddle
gonna be
up.
on a bike.
Hope you learn quick.
They give and you just got paintball armor.
Yeah, right.
That's all
yeah.
you got. You're
Yeah,
like,
they get like it was a bike and like camouflage clothing.
where's my gun, guys? They're just like,
Oh,
It's weird.
Okay, Cody, run.
That goes. I think that psychological phenomenon of manifesting or whatever, where like if you focus on something, you're more apt to find it, and then your
Yeah.
brain will block out everything else.
Yeah, it's like that video with the gorilla and the basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're you won't see what you're
Who
not
knows what
looking
I'm
for.
talking about.
I know
Yeah,
what
it's
you're
like
talking
gorilla
I
It's
don't
like a gorilla basketball.
Christmas video.
You know, but if you
All
saw
right,
it.
favorite Christmas movie. I think Muppet Christmas Carol probably takes the cake. Muppet Christmas Carol, It's a Wonderful Life, like different purposes, but like they're
Yes.
both up there for me.
Right.
In that same vein, I would say It's a Wonderful Life and Charlie Brown Christmas.
Ooh, Charlie Brown Christmas. Cody.
Yeah, just any Hallmark movie.
No,
no,
Love
where
Actually?
the protagonist is a girl who's going back to her hometown from New York, and she's falls in love with a guy.
yeah, there's two guys. One's like a businessy kind of selfish guy, and then there's
Yeah.
another guy who wears
And
a
I don't
plaid,
wanna
wears a
do-
plaid shirt.
I don't want to do the technical Christmas movie where, like I mentioned, is Die Hard a Christmas movie, or Eyes Wide Shut. Like those aren't real Christmas movies.
Is
obviously.
Narnia a Christmas movie?
No.
I think so.
Absolutely.
No. See, like there is Christmas.
Like that's like my favorite.
There happens to be Christmas in certain movies. That doesn't make it a Christmas movie.
I saw it during Christmas.
See, It's a Wonderful Life was kind of like that at first, but then
Yeah.
it got played on Christmas in the 70s.
And Christmas is a big is a big part of like the plot at the end. So
The
it
ending,
feels it feels.
How can Narnia not be Christmas?
All right, maybe it is.
I'm with you.
All right.
I mean, yeah, the obligatory Wonderful Life. You know, gotta
Like a horror.
just gotta say it.
Wow. We all
But then
love
I
it.
think I could always the well I could always go back to is Jim Carrey's The Grinch. Always. So
Yeah.
I'll
The
go-
well.
I mean, we literally have quoted that year round to
Oh
each
yeah.
other.
Yeah, it's
It's
so
just-
good.
It's too much fun. What about you?
wear?
What about you, Mike?
I just said.
Just
I
said
said
the
mine.
Muppets and the Grinch.
But what about male models? You serious? I just told you that a moment ago.
What
Right.
about you, David?
Wait, is Zoolander a Christmas movie?
I just watched
So
that and
is
it
Narnia
it,
yours?
it holds up.
I like Narnia. I like Home Alone.
Yeah.
Home Alone's good, but it's not
I don't know. I don't know if I have like a favorite Christmas.
There isn't one that you watch every year that's like, you watch with your family or you're like I gotta get.
We used
this
to watch
one in
the
there.
Nativity Story a lot, which is like a live action version of Mary and Joseph and Jesus.
Oh,
It's pretty good. As far as Bible movies go, it's one of the better ones.
nice.
And I like that. I think it's a well-made movie, but I just got tired of watching it every year. Like I get
Yeah.
tired of watching things over and over in general.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it gets tiring. You know,
Yeah.
you'll get emotionally exhausted.
Yeah. I'm tired.
I don't know if you guys get that too.
Yeah. I'm
Yes.
going to sleep.
Sometimes I just need to stop the podcast.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Merry
well,
Christmas.
Sometimes you gotta stop.
And a hippy dippity new year.
Bass. Be back.